forget, we should probably turn this sound down a little bit for you guys. And as the title suggests, we're going to be doing a Leapquake build today. We're going to be trying out the new Rumble Rune with Seismic Slam. As you can see, we are in our Whirlwind build, and I wanted to show, I'm sure you guys are aware of now, the armory. Once you have a skill set, and that includes your passive skills and all your gems and everything, and even the cube, I believe. It includes everything but Paragon points. You save your build, and then as you can see, I have my Leapquake build here, and all I have to do is equip it. Everything changed, all the gems switch over, and even this switches over. So it's really nice. The only thing that doesn't switch over is Paragon points. I had this switched earlier when I was first trying this build out. So the main thing we've changed, we're doing a couple things different. One, we are using Earthquake Molten Fury. I've had different people suggest this to me, and it was kind of suggested in the past as well. I really like the cave-in rune just to help you get density. But since we're not using Ancient Spear anymore, we don't really need him to be super close to hit. So even though cave-in rune is nice, Molten Fury is still going to do a lot more damage. The 4,800% compared to the 6,000%. So we're using Earthquake Molten Fury there. And on here, I wanted to note that we still have physical skills do 20% or 19% more. That's okay because Seismic Slam is physical. You can pick either between one or the other. It depends on your biggest damage dealer. But the new addition to Seismic Slam is a change in the Rumble Rune. Now it expends all fury to cause the ground to shudder after the initial strike, damaging enemies in the area for 15% weapon damage for every point of fury spent as physical over 2 seconds. So it's basically the exact same thing as Boulder Toss in the Ancient Spear Boulder Toss rune, except this is 20% for every point of fury spent, and this is 15%. So it is less, but there's kind of an AoE effect. And it's over 2 seconds as well. So the build plays very, very similar to Ancient Spear. It's a little more linear, I guess. Ancient Spear had kind of a small AoE effect. But build-wise, gems, I am using a Bane of the Trapped. It's rank 72. It would be higher, but I used my previous Bane of the Trap to augment my Whirlwind build when I was really trying to push. And same with this gem. We're using Wreath of Lightning, level 72. Reason being, I don't really have anything else to put in its place. My Esoteric is really low because I used my high-level Esoteric, again, to augment my Whirlwind stuff when I was really trying to push that. So, let's put that back in there. And let's also put that in there. Move this around. And we could, in theory, we could run, what is it called? Pain Enhancer. We could run Pain Enhancer for the bleed effect. But we're not really going to benefit too much from the attack speed. So I've kind of gone with Wreath of Lightning just for the added movement speed effect. This is more damage though. I mean, it's kind of the same bonus. 3,000, 6,000. This is little over double the damage. And we could also use a Gogok of Swiftness just for the cooldown reduction. We don't really need it though. Tell you what, I ran this and it wasn't too bad, but let's try this out since, I mean, this is an open slot for me, like I said. Normally you would run something like an Esoteric in here. There might be a couple other viable options, but I'm just trying, for what I've got here today. And then a Bane of the Stricken as your last gem. Everything else is pretty much the same as before. We'll go over it real quick though. In the cube, I have the Furnace, the Lutsox, and Bane of Might. And then skills, we have Nerves of Steel, kind of save us from death. You could swap out Nerves of Steel for Relentless if you want. I don't know. I might actually swap it out just to show you guys. Everybody knows what Nerves of Steel does. I mean, I guess you should know what Relentless does based by reading it there, but we'll try it out. You know, we'll see how it goes. Earthen Might, because we want as much Fury as we can get. I've got 180 right now. Animosity to increase Fury generation, and again, maximum adds to our Fury pool, and Relentless. And then, of course, we're using Seismic Slam, Rumble, Earthquake. We are using Leap, Death from Above, because we want to be stunning enemies around us. Battle Rage, Bloodshed for that AoE effect on critical hits. Really, really OP. You can swap this out for Warcry if you want an extra Earthquake going. And you probably, on this build, you want to use Impunity, but Veteran's Warning would probably work okay too. This would give you an extra Earthquake and an extra Avalanche going, but we're using Battle Rage to increase our overall damage as well as that AoE effect on the critical hits. Then we're using Threatening Shout, Falter. You can use Falter to deal more damage. If you want, you can switch it out for Demoralize to have them attack you. Grim Harvest is okay too if you want to drop a lot of health globes. But I'm going to use Falter for this build here. And then Wrath of the Berserker, Insanity. Paragon points, we have everything in strength, and then of course we have maximum fury. Again, we're going to get jumping around a lot, so you don't need movement speed a lot. And my health is okay. I'm at about 1.1 million, so we don't have any points in vitality. And here you want critical hit chance, damage, cooldown reduction, and attack speed. Resist all, life percent, regeneration, and armor. And then, of course, you really want, you need life per hit to survive, area damage, resource reduction, and gold find. As for the gear itself, we're using a Bane of the Tribes. If you have a better Furnace or possibly some other weapon that you really like, you can swap that out and you can use this in the cube. And then we have a full set of the Might of the Earth set, and we've got we'll just start up here. We've got Vitality on there, and we're running a diamond in there as well to reduce cooldown reduction. We're running all diamonds. And then shoulders, I've got more cooldown reduction on there, and then critical hit chance and damage, and 15% life on there. On here, this is the same as before. If you need to, you know, you can swap that out for something else if you need to, but I'm using that just for the cooldown reduction. And of course the stats aren't too bad too. And then we are using Bracers of Destruction. That way, Seismic Slam deals 400% increased damage to the first 5 enemies hit. So it's really good when you're on elite packs and you've cleared out a lot of the whites. It'll really help you deal more damage and finish burning them down. And we're also using a Girdle of Giants for Seismic Slam, increasing earthquake damage by 82%. I did have one of these that increased it 91%, but it wasn't an ancient. And the maximum fury, actually that might have been the same. I don't know, doesn't really matter. But I've re-rolled it for life per fury spent on there. Kind of help me stay healed up. And then we're using a focus and restraint as our rings, and we went over the gems already. I've got cooldown reduction on this one and critical attack on that one. And then, as I said earlier, the Blade of the Tribes. This is the one I'm using right now. I do need a better roll on this. I realize the increased earthquake damage is really low. I think the max it can roll is 200%, so 151, that's pretty low. But this is what I've got. This is what we are running. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. And we're going to run a level 70 just because I'm not really used to this build. I haven't done it in a while. And yeah, I'm just kind of showing it off. We're going to go ahead and do a empowered because I'll put the points into my esoteric.
Are you strong enough to survive?
But we can't do any buffs right now because we don't have any fury. Gotta get jumping around first. But you basically jump in, do all your jumps, and then hit seismic slam once because it will drain all your fury. After that, just like Ancient Spear did, and then you just continue to jump around. It's basically the same. Basically the same as the Ancient Spear build, I should say. Now, because we're not going to have 100% uptime on our Wrath of the Berserker, you do want to prioritize it for elite packs and Rift Guardians. But you can see we're doing a ton of damage, and my damage is only 1.3 million on this set, so it's not very high. And the reason I wanted the cooldown reduction on this build was because you can see, even using all my fury, my my leap doesn't quite reset. It's close enough where you don't really notice, but if I ever accidentally cast something wrong and I miss using all my fury, then I do have like 2 seconds where I can't jump around. And in a battle with an elite pack, that's a really long time, especially if they've got those stupid arcane beams on the ground. Arcane for the win. But you can see we get to clear a lot of the garbage pretty easy. Come on, you hear that? Oops. I didn't mean to click my Wrath of the Berserker. Hopefully we're fine. Yeah, there we go. And there, I misclicked something. Now this build, the way I have it right now, I can probably run 75s pretty easy. Now that's without, come on, messed up again. Talking and playing at the same time, OP. That's without the esoteric. With esoteric, my damage would be less because obviously I wouldn't be using the pain enhancer, so I wouldn't have that bleed effect. But you can survive a lot better, and this build doesn't really suffer from excuse me, from lack of damage. Which way? And I have a habit of constantly wanting to click my Wrath of the Berserker because in my Whirlwind build, obviously, it's always up. This build is really, really great for clearing trash, though, and continuing to advance. Because you can usually jump around, expend all your fury, and jump around and leave. And your earthquakes will take care of most of the rest. I do kind of miss my my Nemesis bracers. A lot of people don't like them. They think it's kind of a cheap way to advance in the greater rifts. However, pretty much all of the, in defense of the Nemesis bracers, all the elite packs that appear are usually about the same, and they all usually have really high health. So if they're not around anything, if they're not around big packs or another elite pack, you're going to be spending quite a long time just dealing with one elite pack, and it's not really gonna be worth it. Oops. Oh, that's not the right place. You can see the little earthquake timer right above my Wrath of the Berserker there. That is the buff that Earthquake gets from Seismic Slam. And it's just 3 seconds long. You can see it goes off pretty much right when I finish my third jump and I'm ready to cast Seismic Slam again. It's really hard to keep it up 100% of the time, but it's up a good 90-95% of the time. Which is pretty good. Yeah, we can clear all this garbage really fast.
Not ready yet.
When you get packs like this that like to run from you, that's when the cave-in rune really missed.
Not ready yet.
But there's not a ton to this build. A lot of people don't like the Earthquake or the Leapquake build because you constantly have to be pushing buttons, and you say it gets kind of tiring on the fingers, which it does. I've got my pinky finger casting leap, and it gets tiring after a while if you do more than one or two riffs. It does get kind of tiring. It requires a little bit of endurance. But it's not the worst thing in the world. Just take a break. Just take a break. It's too bad. Whoa. Uh-oh. You can, in turn of focus and restraint, you can run an endless walk. However, you won't do as much damage. You'll have more survivability because of the movement, but even when you're standing still, you won't do as much damage because the focus and restraint are separate multipliers, and the 100% from endless walk is its own multiplier. And because I've tried it out, and there's a noticeable difference. So, yeah, 6 minutes on a 70, that's not bad. I'm sure we could do a higher rift. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm sure you've noticed, if you pay attention to my channel at all, you've noticed the lack of videos lately. Been pretty busy. I am finishing up college. I've got a couple weeks left. And I'm in my capstone class, as it's called, and I've got another class going on, and there's just tons of stuff going on, and it's kind of hard to make videos, and I was kind of waiting for the new season to start too. So on top of that, so the next couple of weeks, the next month might be kind of bare on videos, and then honestly, once I get out of college, if I get a job in the field that I want, there's no telling how videos will go from there. So the future of the channel is it's going to continue, but the videos for now will be fewer and a little bit farther in between. I'm going to try and get a couple of videos out a week, but it's been a little over a week since the last one now, I realize. But yeah, feel free to comment on any of my videos. I get notifications on any comments, so if you want to know if I'm still there, you want to know what's going on or whatever, just comment on any video you happen to be watching, and I shall respond when I see it. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the new Leapquake with the new Rumble rune. If you have any comments, concerns, or suggestions, feel free to leave them down below. And I don't know if I said, but if you like the video, leave a like and subscribe if you aren't, guys. And thanks, and more good stuff to come. Take care, guys.